It's a big political moment for the Prime Minister, for the Home Secretary, and instinctively, when people hear the government's taking drugs seriously, the majority of the population say, well, yeah, actually, they should be doing this, because, I mean, there's barely a family in the country that hasn't been touched by this problem in some way. But the tough talk.
It is indeed tough talk, isn't it? And this very much reminds me of this ancient Greek myth, actually, of Plutarch, that they will be tossing the Spartan babies if they do not fit for the future duty to be soldiers. So it feels like this tough talk is about tossing the drug users into the abyss of those disproportionate measures. So indeed, those are tough talk. And the question is this a war or peace? So we really need to consider this very carefully, especially from a human rights perspective. Yeah,
I mean, every year we hear the war on drugs, and we've heard it ever since Tony Blair's time, and every year we've been losing the war on drugs because more and more, it seems to me, more and more people use this stuff. And I have to say, working in London, as I have done, for nearly all of my working life, I'm actually quite shocked. The percentage of young people I know who do or have taken Class A drugs at some point in their lives. Just explain to me then, we are, for good or bad, and you may take a different view on this, but for good or bad, we have a Human Rights Act in this country which incorporated the European Convention of Human Rights into British law back in Tony Blair's time in the late 1990s.
That's very correct, Nigel. And you did say that we're still a signatory of the European Convention of Human Rights, and also to the Human Rights Act 1998 that actually addresses all these issues. So the first one that we need to look into is that the passport and the driving licence, that's an important piece of documentation. And if someone would take that from you, it means that, it can become a property for someone else. So this is a very serious statement to make, and we cannot take this lightly. Saying that, the question is now, driving licence, how does this fit into the drug war? What I mean by that is driving licence, if we're dealing with the driving offence, yes, fair enough, but we're not dealing with the driving offence here.